My name is Sheila, and today we're going to be talking a little bit more about neurodivergence and how it expresses itself in different individuals and how many other things can affect a neurodivergent brain. Now, I know, first off, I want to give people some time to kind of like get settled and join in. I tried to record earlier today, and we had a Murphy's Law type of situation. Like everything that could go wrong went wrong, and yeah, and here we are. So yeah, so I'm giving everybody some time so they can get settled. If they want to jump in, if they want to engage in the chat, this is the time. I love engagement. That's what drives me because as you guys can see, it can get a little boring when it's just me talking up here. And as you can see, I don't usually keep notes. I don't have a script. I don't use a prompter. Shit, I don't even use a decent microphone. I'm just sending this out to the universe from my phone. So the main thing that I want to do is I want to remind you guys of the challenge for the channel. Remember that I said that we are well over 250 subscribers. So for the next couple of weeks, I want to see any video or any short hit at least 200 views because we should be hitting that mark easily if we're all following each other and we're building community and we're staying engaged and we're talking, having the conversations about all this crazy stuff. For those of you that are not here for the neurodivergence and kind of like the clinical tips of dealing with neurodivergent individuals, the channel itself has plenty of space for cynicism. If you go and check the playlists, if you go and check the shorts, there's a lot of cynical comedy, very typical Gen X type of humor. So I think a lot of you guys would enjoy that. Also, I want to thank at all of the new subscribers. I would name you, but all of you are kind of like in private mode, so I can't really name any of you. Um, but I know most recently there was somebody, Mikaloo, that joined the channel. So thank you so much. Oh, who's over here? Me. Old lady can't see this far. It's tiny, tiny. Oh, Scarface. Scarface. I like that. Hello. Hello. Thank you for joining the live. Uh, Piedmonte. Hello. And engage. Ask me questions. Today we're going to be talking about trauma. But today we're going to be talking about trauma from a very different perspective. Today we're going to talk a little bit about collective trauma and generational trauma, and how that sadly radicalizes young adults very quickly, right? And I am not going to get into the weeds about it. I'm not going to get into the weeds about Gaza and everything that is happening in Palestine and Israel. All I am going to say to that matter is to my brothers and sisters on both countries, Israel, Jewish people, we see you. Never again under your name. And we will continue protesting side by side with you guys because no, never again. And nobody should be conducting a genocide in the name of the people that represent the Holocaust and the horrors of what happens when government goes into an ego trip and all the rail guards fall off. So we're not going to get deep into that, but yes, the genocide in Gaza has already radicalized probably the next 3 generations just because it's been so brutal. And this trauma doesn't only affect the victims, obviously, they're the oppressed, they're the main issue, but the oppressor is going to start suffering trauma and is going to start displaying certain symptoms of trauma, like the fight response because everything that is happening and everything that is being asked of them is so against human most basic nature that the cognitive dissonance that it causes is horrible. That's where PTSD comes in. I have worked closely with patients with PTSD and especially military. And one of the things they always tell me is the moral injury is one of the hardest things to manage, especially if you're somebody of faith and you're somebody that's spiritual. To defend your country is one thing. Now, when you start crossing the line, and you come back home and people just expect you to be fine, like nothing ever happened, that is not sustainable. That is not realistic. Human beings are not designed to be islands or to be like, we're like bonobos. We're supposed to, love each other and have as much sex as possible, like bonobo monkeys. That's what they do when they're angry too. They have intercourse. I would say something that we all know that an angry session can help a lot. Let me throw it back to the chat. So I had Tom, I have Kai. Hi, Kai. I think you're a returning one. Hello. Mr. Bill, you are a returning one, right? True, true. That is valid. That is valid. That is valid. I will definitely give you that one. But anyway, so the problem with trauma is there's definitely different types of trauma, and it doesn't have to be big events. If your brain is interpreting something as a threat, that is going to cause a traumatic reaction. And depending on what your life experience is and what your past trauma is, your reaction might be completely rational and expected, or it could go sideways and be completely irrational. But people don't know that you are reacting this way because there was something in your life that created that trigger. When this happens, my body doesn't feel safe, so I need to regulate. Now, when that happens in scale, when everybody is in fight, flight, fight, freeze, fawn mode for months and months and months at a time, that starts radicalizing people because hope starts seeming a little bit far away and almost like some pipe dream. And there's an excellent book, even though there's plenty of other clinicians that touch on this, but there's a book that is called The Body Keeps Score. And that goes for everybody. That goes for the oppressed and the oppressor. Trauma has actually been proven to alter a person's DNA. So this is at the molecular level. Trauma will, especially collective trauma, eventually is going to start looking like culture. That's one of the reasons why in the African American community, in the Black community, they are trying to do taking a day for yourself, doing self care as a radical act because the Black community has been in fight, flight, freeze, fawn mode for the last 400 years. They've been there with somebody just holding them by the neck for 400 years. So, yeah, eventually it's going to start looking like culture. But what's really happening is people are getting radicalized. And sometimes it could be good and it could be for good, like the civil rights movement, even though lately it feels like that never happened. And all the people that pass on that knowledge onto us, we are just like this huge disappointment, anyhow. But I'm not going to get too much into that because this is about neurodivergence. So, trauma collectively experience is going to create obviously more trauma, and that is where we start seeing where people have very low tolerance to socializing, to simple life triggers like traffic or a car accident, a fender bender, like simple things. When everybody's suffering collective trauma, you are going to start seeing a lot of irrational moves and decisions being made. And the danger in that is the longer you are in toxic stress and in chronic trauma, the more you are going to normalize your body feeling unregulated or dysregulated. Hi, everybody. Hi. Oh, let me see, Mr. Bill. What is going on? What do we have going here? There's going to be a lot of trauma over there. Yes, absolutely. And the problem is that it's being normalized. Hi, Charlie. Hi. Thank you for joining. Guys, remember, smash them hearts. Do all the cool things. I don't know if it shows up or down in my case, but hit the bell, hit the subscribe, share with your friends. This is super fun. Today has been amazing. I love when you guys get involved. Oh, yeah. So we are talking about collective trauma and generational trauma, and how what we're living in the United States right now has a very good chance of radicalizing young adults and teens. And we're seeing that. I mean, anybody that turns on any of your mass media or corporate media, whatever, legacy media, whatever the heck you want to call it, we all see pieces of what's going on. And this is a trauma that we're all living together, whether it's affecting your bubble or not. Now, for somebody like me, it's a little bit harder because it hits in every aspect of my life. I am a female. I am a bisexual female. I am a Latina. I'm not gonna say Latinx because the whole Latinx thing doesn't like make sense to me, but I know it's the respectful thing to say. But I'm a Latino woman. Some of my best friends are part of the LGBTQI plus community, just like me, and many of them are trans. And my brothers do not look like me. My dad does not look like me. I can walk out this door and say, my name is Sheila Smith, or my name is Sheila Berry, my name is Sheila Wonton, and people would think I'm white. My parents and my brothers do not have that luxury. So this is a collective trauma that we are living, where we have a piece of the population that actually thinks there's this unbridled crime happening and things are completely out of control and we are living through the zombie apocalypse. So we have that side, and then we have the side that is like, whoa, things are getting real. These people are not even asking questions. You know, if they don't like your accent, they're just going to disappear you. And that type of trauma eventually will radicalize young people because it takes away hope. It takes away creative solution. It takes critical thought out of the picture. So I want to kind of like start wrapping up this video, kind of like, again, inviting everybody to join the channel. This is not about monetizing. This is not about turning into an influencer. I wish. I don't have the time for that. I'm a social worker. I'm an autism specialist. I have plenty in my bubble, but I refuse to not be an agent of positivity and change where it belongs. And I will always advocate for neurodivergent people because I am neurodivergent. I suffer attention deficit disorder with hyperactivity and panic attacks. And I am a chronic insomniac. Like it takes like elephant tranquilizer to help me sleep. And on top of that, I have family members that are on the spectrum. So this touches very, very close to me. And when people start losing hope, any solution starts looking like something because people are just so exhausted and tired that whoever comes up with some half baked solution, people are going to sign into that. So I would say make sure that in your families, in your daily life, you are consuming all kinds of media, not only independent media, not only legacy media. I like Ground News, even though they are not a sponsored or anything. I just personally use them because I like their blind spot I think it keeps things in perspective for me. So yeah. Oh, by the way, so you. Oh, thank you. So what if my name is Charlie? I don't know. I don't have all the questions. Um, I am Puerto Rican. I am born and raised in Puerto Rico. Yes. Yes, I moved to the United States back in 2001. Um, it's not your real name, of course. None of us really use our real names, I would think. You know, we all know how this big brother is always watching. Come on now. Come on now. So anyhow, guys, again, when it comes to trauma, please pay close attention to your body. The body keeps score. If you find yourself having headaches, having a lot of stomach issues, having hoarse voice and not a real reason behind it, chances are you're holding on to something. So let's start working in our own trauma, and that way we can start healing and expanding and collectively heal as a community. I think that's the best way to do this. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the compliments on my hair. Yeah, I'm always doing crazy stuff to my hair. Yeah, it's, you know, I don't mind being an inmate at all. If I'm standing for something, at least I have integrity. And I'm a Gen Xer. I'm feral. Like, you can try and contain me. You know, you can try and, like, call me inmate such and such. But it really doesn't matter to me. Listen, I'm 45 years old. I'm just here to be here. I'm just here to educate whoever wants to be educated. I just want to advocate for those amazing people that are out there. And whoever doesn't like it, guess what? You're still watching me and it still helps the algorithm. So, my love and respect to you from this very, very feisty inmate. So, anyhow, I'm not gonna be petty anymore. That's not nice. Not on this side of the channel. I might jump on the short and be a total jerk over there. But anyhow, thank you so much, guys, for participating. In terms of how do we deal with collective trauma, build community, get out, get to meet your neighbors, start by donating clothes, run a community pantry, run a community garden. Politics starts local. That's the only way we get through this. And I'm not saying MAGA or Democrats, because those sides are, they just need to, like, spontaneous combustion for both sides. And we need to start teaching people how to ask for help. How do we, the people, need to tell them how to govern and what do we want? And that's only going to happen if we help each other in our communities. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy, help each other, lift each other, and I'll be seeing you guys soon, hopefully. Thank you for everybody that joined. Now go out and share. Have a good night.